Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing.
Hey folks, Dude here, coming on again, another edition of Dude After Dark. As our usual Tuesday time period, me running just a little bit later, but I am now up and running and all the good stuff like that there. First and foremost, I've got a friend hitting me up on my phone, so let me put myself off of the Wi-Fi network and just make things a little easier on myself. Now, obviously, technology improving, stuff getting better. There's just better things out there. I mean, truthfully, you could say that if you really want to get completely hardcore, just looking at the internet and considering things for a little while. There's a lot of options to be had. Okay, so what do we have in terms of my options? Well, essentially what I've been looking at is I've been looking for a product improved version of my standard smartphone, which is basically just a 128 gig Samsung Note 9. And I think I do run a 128 gig card as well. So, not a lot of, problems with this thing having sufficient memory, but technology as it is, memory and storage is getting cheaper all the time to the point where you go, okay, I could possibly get like, the 200 gigabit something or other, or the 400 gigabit something or other. And then you go, ooh, 1 terabyte gigabyte. Or 1 trillion bytes. So 1 terabyte, which is 1,000 million bytes of information. And, well, you could make do with something small, but trying to stuff something small into something large.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
It doesn't go well. Okay. So literally what you need to have is you need to, well, part and parcel yourself upon the fact that truthfully, you need to have sufficient memory. So looking at things as it is, in the room, Martina Sasquatch, appreciate you coming on by there, Abram. Good to know that you're doing better. I remember you're having the arm maladies and, of course, work and all the other stuff. We're talking about things behind the scenes and, some of that stuff I just don't pull the curtain back on. But anyway, looking at things as it is, the memory is getting cheaper all the time. Case in point, Daily Driver, 128 gigs, 128 gig card. Do you have the ability to improve the motherboard on a hard-built smartphone? Well, no, you really don't. But here's the other thing, too, is I got to cheat the case off of this thing. Most of your phones, and you can see I do actually have a crack in the corner here because I dropped this, but it still functions fine. I put the little cheater case on here to hide the cracked back so nobody can see it. All the good stuff like that there. But essentially the way they make phones nowadays is it is two homogeneous sheets of glass with sensors and all the rest of that fun stuff. One on the front, one on the back, and usually there's not much in between. And pretty much when you drop them, they just kind of go and break like fine china. Okay, so don't drop your phone, or you're gonna have stuff breaking, and that's just not good. Okay, so don't break your stuff. Okay, don't do that. Okay, if you do drop something, you're gonna be crying very, very loud because it's just gonna go crash, bang, boom, and you're not gonna like it. Okay, it's just gonna fall.
Is your kidney?
No. That's not even what I was looking for. Okay, wrong sound effect. Wrong. Sound guy, you and I are gonna have to go through the files, and that wasn't it. Okay, so literally, you drop your phone, things crash and burn. Yes, bang, crash, bang, boom, broken. Not good times. Okay, so anyway, like I said, memory is getting cheaper all the time. Obviously, product improved stuff. This is 128 gig, and trying to improve the motherboard and make it bigger than what it is, not easy to do because you have what's known as SoC. I think it's system on a chip. And literally what it is there a couple of piggyback circuit boards, one on top of the other, and they're like these little square boxes they stick on the motherboard. And on this one, the motherboard basically goes over and goes down. Then, of course, you have the battery, you have all the various sensors and what have yous. Obviously, you have in this one, you have the headphone jack, and obviously in this one, you also have the stylus, which is what a Note is known for. It is known for having a stylus on board. So literally, you take that guy out. Hang on, so I got screwed up. I touched the screen when I should have touched the screen. All right, so anyway, let me lock it back up. On the unlock version, it's different. But if you have the screen locked, you literally can, do all your various note taking and what have you, and all good stuff like that there. Hence, it is called a Note. The stylus can be used for certain things. You hold the button down, it becomes the camera. This becomes the camera shutter release. There's a lot of good technology involved in these things on its extent and its operation. Now, the only downside is obviously it is limited by the build of what it is for the actual capacity in the phone. Now, this thing will support up to, it'll support up to one of these. Yes, a 512 gigabyte card. So half a T. So you basically have half a T. Your phone's not half a T. How do you fix that? Well, you basically would want to have like another device, and you would probably want to have something that's going to do a product improved version. So literally, you want to have something that is, it's a step up, and you pretty much want to have something that's better. So if you're looking for something better, you literally have to have something that's going to be maybe not completely different, because I kind of really like the way that this thing is set up, and it's good. Okay. I'm not going to really want something any different than what I pretty much already have. So, I'm going to want to have something that's just good. Right? And I'm not saying something that's bad in its, starting points, but I want something that's going to be good. Is it going to be something that's going to be completely terrible, horrible in its basic situation from its outset? No, sound guy. No, it's not we. No. Okay, it's not bad. All right. I just need something that's going to be better. So, what would be better than me having a Note 9, of which you can see on the back by the camera setup, and of course the thumb sensor for the unlocking? I would say probably something that's bigger. So, what are these guys? Yeah, this guy right here. This is a 512 size as opposed to a 128 gig. This is a 512 gig. Now, like I just showed you that memory card, between 512 of this and 512 of this, I'm really close to a 1 terabyte smartphone, which is something I've been wanting to build for a while. I've teased it a bunch. Now, the best part about it is I got into this thing for under $250. This is about a $59 card. So literally, I have a 1T smartphone, utilization, operation of which I completely know backwards and forwards at this point, for under $300. Now, I know Samsung's teasing the idea and going, "Oh yeah, well we're going to make a bigger, better, most bester Note." Well, that really hasn't come out yet. I mean, of course, they were teasing the fact that the Note 10 was going to be the end of it, or they weren't going to build a Note 10 or a Note 20, and now they're going, "Well, we might make a Note 20." It's like Samsung really can't get their head out of the butt to give a straight statement on what they're really, really doing, except for the fact that, they're basically keeping everybody in suspenders. Is what it is. Is watching the Sasquatch. Thank you, Sam, for making the back out of steel. No, it's glass. It's glass. It used to be a homogeneous unit with, obviously a slap-on back panel and like a glass front where you can take the back panel off. And with my S5, and I dearly still love that phone, I can literally change batteries in about 10 seconds, have the thing powered up without having to go, "Oh, where's a place to jack in and plug this thing in?" And because the nice thing is actually, all the Note 9s are wireless chargers. They just don't share power. They're not that new. The newer generation of Samsung phones actually have the ability to share power to another phone, and you can use your phone to charge up your buddy's phone. In that regard, it's not really a deal breaker. You simply just find yourself a power block and have that with you, or you find some place to plug into the wall. And everywhere I've looked, I found a place to plug in the block and make the thing charge. So it's not like something I can't do already. But the technology, as it has improved, I now have a 1T smartphone, and it didn't really break the bank in the process to build it. All right, so scrolly. Let me jump over here to the news. This is some new COVID symptoms that everybody should be looking out for. And case in point, you probably should make yourself aware of the fact that these things are coming down the pike. Oh, jeez. Martina Sasquatch. With enough cards, you could have enough data to keep the Ministorum Adamastrum WH40K busy for years. You know what? In terms of Warhammer 40K, I think probably just the Technomax and all those guys, and of course the various what is it the guys who are like the combination of the mechanics slash the lay readers and the religious leaders. It's kind of funny in 40K how they mix those two things up. But yes, definitely enough to keep the Ministorum Administrum up on running and good stuff like that there. Because cards are cheap, man. You can get 64 gig cards now for like about $17-$18, if that, $12 shipped. They're cheap. But try to get the bigger stuff, and I would love to have a 1T card. I don't think this supports a 1T card. So 512 gigs with 512 gig phone, that's like $468. I think last time I looked at the guts on this thing for memory readout of available in the actual drive on that thing. But still, it's like half a T almost in the phone alone. So I'm not gonna fill it up. Hell, I haven't even filled up a 168 yet. Oops. All right. So anyway, got all the good stuff coming down the pike. But anyway, like I said, COVID stuff that you should be looking out for. Well, obviously, is going to be cardiac arrest, unconsciousness, seizure, aching muscles, blood clots in the brain, vomiting, sudden death, and tired and unwell. Now, is this actually anything that's coming from the COVID virus? No. These are all symptoms coming from the COVID vaccines. Remember that. That's going to be bad juju coming down the pike. A lot of that stuff, it's technology. We don't know what it does in the long run. Whoopsie. Speaking of COVID, well, our dear beloved leader, who is he? Oh. Anybody in the room know? Oh, that's right. We're speaking about none other than... That's right. We're talking about President... Because pretty much anything he's posited so far has been nothing but a big stinking pile of... Yeah, that's right. We're talking about Joe Kaka. President Joe Kaka. So it's not come out from the truthpress.com, or truthpress.news, sorry. The 24 states are currently suing the Biden administration over the COVID mandates for children on vaccination. Wow. Filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration challenging COVID-19 vaccine mandates for early education staff and children. That's really all I need to say about that one, because, Mr. He really is just stepped in a big stinking pile of... That's right. I mean, Joe is walking along. He's doing his various spiel and I know what I'm doing. I'm completely up on things, and you guys really, truly can't make me stop what I'm doing because I know what I'm doing. Yep. He stepped in it. Oh, walking across the White House lawn. Yeah, well, yeah. Walking across the White House lawn. Oh, man. Patriot Fever says 1 terabyte is also known as, oh, my God. 9 more bytes than Brandon has. Wow. You know what? I don't know if you guys saw that video or not, where the guy was pranking Joe Kaka and got him to say, "Oh yeah, let's go, Brandon. I agree." Did you happen to see what happened on that Christmas day? The screaming memeites on the other side of the aisle, did they do anything potentially questioning their guy for being a complete total screw up for going, yeah, let's go, Brandon. That's awesome. No, what did they do? They doxed the guy. And they're like, oh, he's a father of so-and-so. He's taking the PPP loans. He's this, that, and the another thing. Blah, 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 blah. He's benefited from the federal government. He really, truly shouldn't have been questioning Joe Kaka. Dude, anybody, anywhere in the United States is within their rights to question the, how do I put this without putting this? The veracity, let's just say the veracity of any politician for doing anything as a free citizen of the United States. And also, if they can hoist the guy by his own petard, go for it. I thought that was blanking hilarious. Patriot Fever hit the mark and then some with that. I think it needs a couple more nines there, Martinez Sasquatch, but yeah, it's very, very close. Anyway, so yeah, calling a politician for those things that they do and questioning them for their veracity, air quotes, is exactly what you need to do in the United States as a free citizen. And it's within your rights. It's within your purview of, well, introspection to call upon them. The fact that, well, they are completely just full of, I don't know if I would go that way, sound guy. I would say that they're completely full of, I don't think he's full anymore.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Anyway, so Joe Kaka, calling him on things that he's done and that his policies are doing is completely within your rights. And these screaming memeite, leftard motherfathers doxing the guy, if nothing else, the only thing that you've done is you've strengthened the resolve of him, anybody that's associated with him, and anybody around him who said, you know what, we like the fact he made Joe look like a flipping moron. That was good shiznit. I salute you, sir. Logan Ray in the room. Appreciate you coming by, brother. Hanging out and doing the good stuff like we all usually do. Appreciate you coming by. This one cracked me up entirely. There is a I'll say it. There's a gun show group that's up in Pennsylvania, and they are known as Eagle Arms. I've been to their gun shows. I've seen their gun shows, and I've attended their gun shows. Now, the thing about it is there's another entity known as JSD Supply. Now, what they normally are known for is they're known for selling parts, components, 80% lowers, 80% pistols, buy, build, shoot style kits, and good stuff like that there. So essentially what happened is that they were selling completely legal stuff. Somebody put the word to the wise on the Eagle guys and said, oh man, you might want to not have these guys here because they did. Let me just read you this article. This is coming from ammoland.com and JSD Supply, and you'll see the rest there in a second here. But the company JSD purchased Eagle Arms Productions, LLC. Why? Because Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro, State Representative Eamon Brown, and Firearms Owners Against Crime President Kim Stauffer pressured the former owner of Eagle Arms to, quote-unquote, ban the unfinished firearm frames. Although the decision was reversed, the trio celebrated their apparent victory. Shapiro and Brown even held a press conference, and the anti-gun groups celebrated. Less than a year later, their celebration has ended. Why? Because in a perfectly capitalistic society with somebody with deep enough pockets, JSD Supply purchased the gun show entity Eagle Arms. So anyway, they're the leading seller of Polymer 80 kits, and I like Polymer 80. Polymer 80 is a good friend, and buddy to the channel of the 80s podcast channel. I happen to know Lauren very well. He's a gentleman of the highest rapport, and these guys turn out products that are completely legal to buy, own, and finish into a legal firearm under those laws in which the United States states it as such. They're doing nothing illegal by selling these items. They're doing nothing illegal by allowing people to purchase these items. And they're doing completely nothing illegal in the realm of normal business operations. So anyway, the leading seller of Polymer 80 kits and their own MUP1 kit that's based on the popular SIG P320. The company was directly targeted by Stauffer, who confronted an employee of JSD Supply at a gun show. At the time, Stauffer said there has to be a paper trail, and the kits said that there should be Stauffer said there should be a paper trail, and the kits shouldn't be sold in quote unquote certain areas. Brown claimed that the customers bought hundreds of the kits at one time, according to AG's Ghost Gun Task Force. The claim was disputed by AG's Ghost Gun Task Force, but contracted by. Was disputed when contacted by MLN News. They are unaware of anyone buying that many kits at any gun show. It is still unclear where Brown turned up that number or if it was just made up for effect. Let's just say that he's a screaming, meme-eyed, dirtbag piece of crap who's willing to lie, steal, cheat, and anything else to further the cause of gun control. So anyway, JSD Supply would not give up the fight for gun rights and partner with the Gun Owners of America, GOA, of which I am a member. To push back against the attack on the rights of American citizens to keep and bear arms, JSD Supply's owner, Jordan Vinrow, believes that everyone has the right to build firearms and took a no-compromise stance against the AG and others who would like to see homemade guns banned. The company took an, quote, if you can't beat them, then buy them stance. So JSD Supply purchased Eagle Arms from the previous owners, making them the largest gun show promoter in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This last Saturday, JSD Supply officially took control of the gun show, and trust me, the next one of those Eagle shows that I attend, I am buying some JSD stuff, and I am letting them know in no uncertain terms I support them wholeheartedly in their endeavors. The first official show was the Oaks Gun Show outside Philadelphia. It's a decent show. Buddy of mine went there and said it was actually a good show. The Oaks Gun Show is the third largest gun show in the country, featuring thousands of tables. It's not a small show, folks. Trust me on that one. Let's see. Not only with unfinished frames and receiver kits sold once again everywhere at the gun show, but JSD Supply hosted educational classes that helped buyers of P80s finish their kits into fully functional firearms. Even volunteers from the FOAC took the opportunity to complete a Polymer 80 kit. That is blanking awesome. I cannot do that justice. Hearing that these guys basically went the full way that America works. If somebody does something untoward to you and you happen to be, rich enough, you buy the company out from underneath them and you tell them in no certain terms, thank you so much, but you're fired. Let's see. Scrolly. Martin Sasquatch, you ever seen the new Hungarian anti-material rifle, long recoil bullpup in 12-7-108 or 50 BMG? The Lynx is a mean-looking rifle. Yeah, it looks to me very much like that 20 millimeter thing that the South Africans had, where it's basically like, the rifle is like a long line and you kind of have the pistol grip on the outside so the thing can lay beyond your shoulder. And there's usually like a midpoint, like kind of like a shoulder rest, almost like a Boise rifle. And what happens is when you fire it, most of the recoil is taken up by the action and the weapon itself. So it's kind of like, it's kind of more like a rolling recoil rather than just, full smash. Because the 12-7-108 and the 50 BMG are not itty-bitty cartridges. Let's see. Patriot Fever, my bow is sounding better and better each day. Tomahawks also. Oh, man, that's just too funny. The only thing you guys heard about this one is coming from yahoo.com/news. I love hoisting these guys by their own petard because Yahoo News is just to the left of Lennon, I'm thinking. Yeah, it's not that, okay? But anyway, they posted this story up. This is coming from Tiffany Thiessen from the Orlando Sentinel. And this is posting up on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021, 11:42 a.m. And it says it's a 1-minute read. Ooh, thank you. Thank you, Yahoo, for telling me how long it takes to read something. Orlando, Florida, a right-sized microchip implanted under your skin could become your vaccine passport. Um, Short answer, no. The Swedish tech startup says the device can be customized to display people's COVID-19 vaccination records, according to a video the South China Post posted Friday on Twitter. Why does this mean something when the Chinese start talking about it? Because the Chinese want all their people to have a dog tag that they can go, okay, you come here. Rip. Oh, yeah, you've fallen into disfavor with the party. Step over that way. Rip. Oh, yeah, you're a suck up. You keep going. Rip. Oh, yeah, you're a member of the party. Bless you, sir. That's exactly what's going to happen if you have these little things in your hand or anywhere else on your body, because you're basically dog tagged. And I can tell you for a fact, my canine, speaking of canine, right here, my canine right here, yes, the Remington, he is being Snoopy, but he actually is microchipped. Now it makes sense. You can just see like the top of him walking by here, but you can see the sense in having an animal microchip, because you basically just kind of stand them up and you go, okay, let's see what oh, code so and so and so and so. He gets back home. But anyway, Epicenter, based in Stockholm, says anyone who opts for microchip implantation can later change their mind and have the device removed. You ain't sticking in me in the first place, you butt bunks. Right now, it's very convenient to have the COVID passport always accessible on your implant, says Hanne Sjöblad, the Epicenter's chief disruption officer. That's distribution, but it says chief disruption officer, says in the video. The chip uses near field communication to send data to devices, including smartphones, that can read them. Right off the bat, I don't like that from its just very, very instance of suggestion. Wow. No. Mm-mm. It's the same kind of technology used in most contactless credit cards and mobile payments. And if you people happen to know the little facts about those things, if somebody's got a reader and they walk past your wallet and go and scan your stuff, they then can use your stuff. Not a fan. RFID is one of those things you really have to worry about for somebody grabbing your stuff and using it somewhere else who shouldn't be using it. And yes, I do watch my accounts like a blanking hawk. Such devices have a range of practical applications. They can act as a key fob or as a form of payment. They can be programmed to store data. Ding. Hang on a second here. Could be programmed to store data. Does that sound like anything like, I don't know, like something that you need to worry about? Yes, because it's something that can store data that potentially you might not want somebody else to know, but they stick on there anyway. All you have to do is hold your smartphone over the chip to program it. Shall I say yet again? Did I call that, or did I call that? Yeah, according to Our Detroit Magazine, quote, they're not dissimilar from the identification chips you would install in your dog or your cat. Did I call that, or did I call that? The novelty of the technology makes some people uncomfortable enough to call it and label it creepy, dystopian, or even apocalyptic. Many responses in Friday's video were negative and angry. Gee, I really wonder why. Because maybe people don't want a bunch of people going, hey, let's stick all this proprietary information about somebody that they don't even know about in this chip. Because the thing about it is with standard encryption practices, guess what? You're not going to be able to read it, and somebody else will, as long as they have the key. Also, some noted that involuntary microchipping via vaccination was a prominent conspiracy theory last year. A poll taken in May 2020 found 44% of Republicans think Bill Gates is working on a coronavirus vaccine because he wants to plant a microchip in them and monitor their movements, the New York Daily Post reported. Okay, New York Daily Post, let's just take about half of that information and make that into something that they just kind of try to go around the edges and not say directly. plant a microchip in somebody and monitor their movements. Now, near field communication really is not that great. You need to be within a certain distance to make the thing actually work. And truthfully, you would need to have a situation set up where you basically would have to read somebody's stuff. Well, Bluetooth technology works within about a 50-foot circle. Near field technology works within about a 10-foot circle. So if you make it so that this little chip, which really is the size of a grain of rice, that's tons of space. You can make that thing dance if you wanted it to. And you can make it able to utilize Bluetooth and near field communications to go, okay, every single person that you pass by will handshake your signal from that phone to another phone, 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 and so on and so forth into perpetuity. You are being tracked. Now, the dirty little secret is if you look at the technology, Apple has done that already with their phones. The tag that they say put on your luggage or whatever, it's got a short range. It doesn't read all that far. Every person with an Apple product that it goes near goes, oh, I recognize that one. Hey, Apple, that thing that you're wanting me to look out for anybody, it just went past me. I found it here. Here's where I saw it. Here's where it's going. And then the next iPhone goes, oh, yeah, just past that guy. I just got it. So literally, Apple can track those tags anywhere on the planet as long as it's going by iPhones every so often. It's tracking them. Now, the range on those devices is not real good. The battery only lasts for a year. But people have been taking those things, popping them open, cutting the little sound device in it so then it doesn't go, meep, I'm here, meep, I'm here, meep, I'm here, which is how most people actually use those, is they're like, oh, geez, I've lost my so-and-so. Here, find it for me, Siri, beep. And Siri goes, I'll put out the signal. And then the thing, wherever it is, goes, I'm here, beep, beep, beep. So handshaking technology like that already exists. It's not hard to come up with. Those guys can do that stuff very, very simply, especially when you start talking about something as ubiquitous as every device, as everybody is carrying a smartphone. I don't use iPhones. And when this thing's not being used, oh yeah, the 4G and the Wi-Fi get turned off. It's just a phone. Scrolly. Oh, wow. This is one of those pearls of reality that really, truly I can't lay claim to except simply just pass it along. In the room, Shan Hutchison. I only have potato chips, nothing micro for me. Yeah, micro potato chip would just be damn frustrating. It's like, this little itty bitty, no, a bag of micro potato chips would be like, no, unworthy. And then you go to dip it, and it's like the whole bag just disappears. It wouldn't work. Let's see. Scroll. Oh, so yeah, here we go. Joe Kaka. Oh man, Mr. Infamous, man himself of the hour, day, week, year. President. Yeah, well, you basically just got to call him what he is, okay? He is simply. I call it as I see it, okay? He's. All right, so anyway, this one comes from dailywire.com, and I cannot do this justice. Okay, you folks who possibly need to utilize the bathroom facilities, you might want to just not really listen to this story, or potentially you might just, you might have a problem, okay? If you listen to this story, well, you may, well, you might, okay? You just might, right? If you listen to this story, potentially, just
Fatality.
there goes your underwear. Anyway, Joe Kaka says he will run in 2024, quote unquote, if I am in a health I'm in now. okay, if you folks aren't like closer to like, basically like a shark attack, like just yeah, no. Well, no, I'm thinking really you're just gonna yeah, more than that. I'm thinking that as soon as you hear about him trying to say something like that, you're just going to oh, just yeah, it's not gonna be pretty, okay? You're just going to just, mm, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's just yeah, all over the place. Yeah, just okay? There's no other way to say it other than you're just gonna just yeah, yeah. And there is no way to
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
I don't think it works like that, dude. Mm-mm. No, Joe Kaka saying that on Wednesday when he will run for re-election in 2024 if he remains he's in now, pushing back against rumors that many chose to leave office after one term while leaving open the possibility that his circumstances could change. So he made a remark during an interview on ABC News with World News Tonight anchor David Muir. If I'm in the health I'm in now, I'm in good health. And in fact, I would run again, Biden said. Oh, man, if there was ever a time that Joe Kaka was saying his namesake, that was it. Oh, man. Pedro Fever, would it be wrong to tag a liberal with one of those chips via a blowgun? They're just walking along. Ow, mosquito. Ah, yeah. Ah, oh. Especially if you program it with the right stuff. Yeah. I could think of so many choice things to put in their rice-sized device of yeah. Oh man. Wow. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, but basically the Let's Go Brandon thing. The guy called Joe Kaka. I cannot do this justice. Merry Christmas and let's go, Brandon. Biden. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Oh man, I could keep playing that on loop for the next 2 years, and I wouldn't get tired of it. Holy crap! I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but supposedly the Chinese Communist Party, is just really most disenfranchised with Elon Musk. Now, here's what I find completely hilarious, and the way in which they state this. Chinese citizens slam Musk online after space station near miss. It could be said that to make people kowtow, which is a very Chinese phrase, but to make people kowtow along party lines and do those things that they have to do to keep the social media numbers up, I would tend to think that those people doing those things weren't just coerced. I think that they were told in no uncertain terms, hey, chime in on this and, complain for fun and profit, bitch like crazy, piss and moan, make it sound authentic, but, make it sound like you're so disenfranchised with Elon Musk and the way that he's doing things that it gives us validity in the Chinese Communist Party. So Beijing, Reuters. Chinese citizens lashed out online against billionaire Tesla founder Elon Musk's ambitions on Monday after China complained that its space station was forced to take evasive action to avoid collision with satellites launched by Musk's Starlink program. The satellites, second killing out here. The satellites from Starlink Internet Services, division of Musk's SpaceX aerospace company, had two quote unquote close encounters with the Chinese space station on July 1 and October 21, according to a document submitted by China early this month to UN Space Agency. Okay, now first and foremost, for a fact that, well, number one, the UN is a bunch of kowtowing suck-ups to the Chinese, and they don't have a set of, how do I say this without saying this? They don't have,
Bullshit.
no. They do not have
Bullshit.
no, they do not have
I've got balls of steel.
No, they don't have those again. They have absolutely zip, zero, nada, bits and pieces of
Balls.
no, they got no balls. They got no balls. No, the UN has no balls at all. So, anyways, for safety reasons, the China space station implemented preventative collision avoidance control, China said in a document published on the website of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs. The complaints have not independently verified. SpaceX did not immediately respond to a request for comment. In the post on China's Twitter-like Weibo microblogging platform on Monday, one user said Starlink satellites were just a pile of space junk, while another described them as American space warfare weapons. Well, let's be completely honest here. The way that China does and says stuff, first and foremost, they're a bunch of lying dogs, and I will call them that. They're a bunch of lying dogs who have complete and total dishonesty with their complete and total ability to steal anybody's intellectual property. If you allow them to build something, they'll steal it, unlicensed, sell it, and then, of course, convert it to use it to their own purposes. And then when they sell you something of their own technology, it has so much spyware and other crud built into it that it is just not safe to use. It isn't. Let's see. SpaceX alone has deployed nearly 1,900 satellites to serve its Starlink brand network, and it's planning more. The risk of Starlinks being gradually exposed, the whole human race will pay for the business activities, a user posting under the name Chen Haiying said on Weibo. The U.S. Space Administration, U.S. Space Agency, NASA, was forced to abruptly cut off a spacewalk at the end of November, citing risks posed by space debris. Musk tweeted in response that some Starlink satellite orbits have been adjusted to reduce the possibility of collisions. China began constructing the space station in April with the launch of Tianhe, the largest of its 3 modules. The station is expected to be completed by the end of 2022 after 4 crewed missions. Musk has become a well-known figure in China, although Tesla's electric vehicle business come under growing scrutiny from regulators, especially after a customer climbed on top of a Tesla car at the Shanghai Auto Show in April to protest against poor customer service. Man, you want to talk about poor customer service? You deal with China, okay? It is not going to be Elon Musk. And if it is, oh well, the guy's a multi-billionaire. Deal. I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but the new Build Back Buffoon program posited by Joe Kaka. Well, let's just say he's not doing particularly great right now. His job approval has gone down to 36%, negative 30%. Or sorry, 30. I don't know why they do this hyphen thing. Crashed to 36%. 30% of Biden voters say he should not run in 2024. Okay, so maybe they're not going to vote for Trump, but they might not go in there and pull the handle for him. Yes. So Biden's approval has reached historic lows in high crime, 40-year high inflation, and Americans stranded in Afghanistan. 55% disapprove of Biden's job performance. Among the 18 to 34 years old, Biden's approval rating is only 28%, while 56% disapprove. Ages 35 to 64 mark Biden's approval rating in the high 30s, while 65 and older gave Biden a 41% approval rating. When broken down by race, Biden's approval numbers are weak in some demographics. Only 29% of white individuals approve of Biden's performance, 64% disapprove. Among black Americans, a key voting bloc for the Democrats' intersectional coalition, the Biden approval to disapproval. I hate when they do this stupid pop-up. Biden approval to disapproval numbers for the 18-34 age group are tied at 36% each, although he fares better with older black Americans. Obviously, they don't really listen. Hispanic or Latino voters give the president 48% approval to 41% disapproval. Both males and females have a negative view of Biden. Just 31% of men approve, 36 or 62% disapprove. While among women, 40% approve and 49% disapprove. His job performance also negative in 45 states. Only 5 states approve of Biden's performance: California, Hawaii, Maryland, Massachusetts, and Vermont. Now, there's a reason why Maryland is so, and I really want to cuss here, but so blanking blue. It's because there's so many people here who are sucking off the government teat in contractor and government employee status in this general vicinity. Now, it is what it is. Maryland's going to be blue until they decide being blue is dumb, but that ain't happening anytime soon. Look at California. Look at the rest of the places I mentioned. They all are sucking wind right about now. Maryland is an artificial economy because there's just so much government money here that the place is flush with cash. Always. Let's see. This one coming from conservativefighters.com. Let's see. Biden ends the year with an absolute collapse in support. Uh-oh. Yes, we're talking about right now the fact that, well, it's devastating for Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, the Democrat Socialist Party. 67% of voters believe the U.S. is heading in the wrong direction. And Rasmussen, I cannot begin to do this justice, man. They're just ripping him to shreds. His numbers have fallen to the floor. And, well, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy because he's deservedly asking for this treatment. This one also kind of cracked me up. It seems that there's now a case of conservativefighters.com. Liberal men are, well, how do I say this gently without saying this gently? Liberal men are snipping their own, well,
balls.
Yeah, they're snipping their own balls to protest an abortion law. Okay, now I really truly don't have a problem with this, mostly because now they're stopping the production method of more liberals. But hey, if it makes you feel good, chop them, okay? Because you're not using your
balls
for anything good, okay? Be sure to take your
balls
out of the process of using your
balls
for anything to further the liberal process while using your
balls
to make more liberals. So if you decide to shut down operation on your
balls,
just have fun, okay? So Texas doctor said his practice has seen a nearly 15% increase in vasectomies as men try to push back against the state's abortion law. The Washington Post reported Sunday. Kushik Shaw, a doctor practices in Austin Urology Institute, said his WAP told the Washington Post, I even did his abbreviations, told the Washington Post his practice saw a roughly 15% increase in scheduled vasectomies following the state's September 1 abortion ban. Shaw told the outlet patients coming in saying, hey, I'm actually here because of the changes that Governor Greg Abbott and his legislation has passed that are really impacting our decision-making in terms of family planning. Okay. Killing a kid in utero is not birth control. So you snipping your
balls
out of the process, thank you. If nothing else, what you're doing there is you're proving out the fact that, well, you're just using abortion as birth control versus you holding back on the stuff coming out of your
balls.
I wasn't going to say that, sound guy, okay? I wasn't going to say that, okay? But you're holding back on the stuff coming out of
Balls.
He's getting carried away, folks. Yes, they're holding back on the stuff coming out of
Balls.
So doctor says, so doesn't anyone for me as reason? First time doctors are citing a state law as a motivating factor to keep them from producing more kids by using
Balls.
Dude, I was going to say other means of protection, okay? They're not using their
Balls.
Once he gets in the groove, folks, he's like a dog in traffic. You just can't stop him.
Balls.
Okay. One more balls, and I'm taking the button away. Okay? No more balls. No more balls. Okay? So they're shutting down the operation on these liberal guys using abortion as birth control because, you know, if you obviously take out the...
I've got balls of steel.
They do not have those. No, they don't have those, okay? If they're snipping them out of the process to go, we're protesting by shooting blanks. You've just proven your case is untrue. You say, oh, no, abortion is only used to save the life of the mother and the life of this, that, and the other thing. In the case of, you know, all these other things, we never, ever would utilize abortion towards birth control. You guys just stated it most emphatically. I got this one, sound guy. You're simply saying that you don't want to use your
balls.
I got that one. You don't want to use those to make more by accident. So you are just snipping them out and taking them out of the process. Oh, I'm sorry, girls. I know boys are icky and all, but if you're not getting the baby batter in the baby maker, you're not making more babies. Okay. So anyway, basically these guys are snipping and tucking and, saying that they're not going to utilize their, oh, would you stop? It's perfectly fine for those guys to be using
balls,
sound guy. Yeah, it's perfectly fine for those guys to be using those. Okay. That's the way it works. You, he, you, she, you make more. So let's see. So anyway, these guys are now snipping. So these now liberal social engineers are calling their own by snipping and tucking various things that are not making more. How do I say this without saying this? But man, I really, really want to say this. How do I say this without saying this? Okay. Oh, I know how I'm going to say it. Okay. We're going to be talking about, of all things, Colin Kaepernick. That guy. Yeah. So anyway, Colin Kaepernick's acquisition company loses a lucrative deal, raises doubts of the ex-athlete's halo effect. I love the way they say that, man. That's just badass. Anyway, so we're talking about conservativefighter.com, and what's going on is former NFL quarterback turned activist Colin Kaepernick. He's just vomit rising the even mention, but so it lost out on a lucrative business deal with a social justice driven lender after he refused to promote the business on national television. Dude, that's your job. You're shilling now for these guys because you work for them. The failure of Kaepernick's special purpose acquisition company, SPAC, Mission Advancement Corporation, to finalize a deal with the Change Company, a lender that prioritizes serving minority borrowers, has sparked questions over how much business stand to benefit while partnering with a washed-up athlete, according to the Wall Street Journal. Wow. The Change Company would proudly consider a partnership with Mr. Kaepernick. Yesterday, today, or tomorrow, Change Company CEO Steve Sugarman said in a statement after the deal ruptured. In correspondence with the executives Kaepernick's firm, Sugarman was more direct. Quote, there's a real question about whether there is a, quote, halo effect, end quote, that translates into investor dollars, Sugarman wrote in a December email to Mission Advancement Corporation executives. Quote, we need to question that assumption. Translation, he's just a dick, okay? Nobody wants to deal with Kaepernick because, well, he's just a dick, okay? Nobody wants to deal with a dick, all right? So anyway, you're dealing with him, and he's just a dick, okay? You don't want to deal with somebody that does stuff like that, all right? Because he's just you dick. He's just you dick. They're tired of dealing with him, okay? So case in point, you just don't want to deal with somebody like that screwing up the process because they're coming there and they're just gonna
fatality.
They're just gonna kill the deal, okay? So anyway, SPAC model SPAC is run by celebrities, has exploded in recent years, according to Investopedia. A special purpose acquisition company is a company that has no commercial operations and is formed strictly to raise capital through initial public offerings for the purpose of acquiring or merging with an existing company, also known as blank check companies. SPACs have been around for decades, but their popularity has soared in recent years. In 2021, 247 SPACs were created with $80 billion invested. And in just the first quarter of 2021, a record $96 billion was raised from 295 newly formed SPACs. By comparison, only 2 SPACs came to market in 2010. So Kaepernick's SPAC, how do you say this without saying this? Raised $345 million with the stated purpose of acquiring another company with social justice aims. The acquired company would then expect Kaepernick to use his platform to promote the business and attract investors. So basically, he came in there and was like, "Oh, I don't have to do this because I'm the guy who happens to be of another color. You gotta listen to me because I'm that guy who's of another race. You're suffering white guilt. You have to do what I say." Yeah, that's gonna be his theme song, Colin Kaepernick. That's him. That is him. Wow, what an arrogant. How do I say F-tard? What an arrogant F-tard. Completely screwed the pooch for something of his namesake. Wow. How do you even justify the fact that he completely screwed it by himself? Oh man. All right, don't invest in Colin Kaepernick, okay? Just don't. If you invest in him, things are just gonna go. Yeah, it's not gonna work out for you, okay? Don't do that, okay? So and after you get done vomiting, there may be other problems, and you really truly don't want that with him, okay? He's just going to it's gonna be more than sharding, okay? Anyway, so looking at things as it is, Remy. Looking at things as it is, we are now looking at the 10 o'clock time period. I'm going to break off on this one. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I know it's a little bit of a shorter one, but, we're getting into, well, a couple more days before the new year starts. And I think maybe you should just give you guys a chance to rest up because all that family stuff and all that holiday stuff, it will just wear you down. Still rocking the 30-day on Facebook, so this is exclusively a YouTube. I think I got another 11 more days to go, so hopefully next week, I think it's next week. I think it empties out on the 8th. I think that's when it died. Let's see. I think it ended on the 8th or something. I forget which day it is. But you know what? I'm rocking another 30 days, so I'm basically doing the 30-day. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to break up on this one. So eat good, keep tendering as always. You know what? You love it. And you guys hanging out with me. I know you got many other things to do, but you guys decided to hang out with me. And I truly appreciate your kind attention. So I'm going to break up this one. So eat good, keep tendering as always. You know what? You love it. And I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good New Year's and see you next year. See you guys.